my downward spiral, right? Before I get into the nitty gritty details of how you do it and how I actually discovered this. So like I said, my health was in that downward spiral. I was in constant pain. I was constantly sick. I was having all kinds of reoccurring infections, like over and over again. I was tired. And, it would have been easy for me to say, oh, well, I have a busy schedule. I have a lot on my plate. That's why it's happening. That's what other people said. But it wasn't just that. It was more than that. And I knew that deep inside. I had this ridiculous inflammation going on. I was gaining weight, even though I was trying to eat all those healthy foods, diet foods, right? Like I was doing the vegan, I was doing the raw foods, I was doing the fasting, like once I realized that typical stuff, and what's told to us wasn't working, like I was just trying everything, right? And so one of my really clear moments that opened my eyes was when my doctor called out my weight gain as actually a problem. And at first it kind of offended me. I was like, excuse me, I weigh less than you. Like, what are you talking about? But then she really painted the picture for me, right? She was like, look, it's only been a year. Look at your chart. Like, look at this weight gain. Like, what if this happens again? What if this happens for another year? And she was like, I didn't know that I had a problem, and I wish somebody had told me that this was a problem. And so when she was explaining it to me, I realized like, oh, I never considered if this continued. I just thought like, whatever. I gained some pounds. A noticeable amount, but like it's not a big deal. It hasn't hit like a problem like in my health. But she was saying like, hey, you need to catch this early because it doesn't make any sense. Like, why is this happening? And you need to explore this. Now, she didn't have the answers for me. She was just my gynecologist, right? But she was like, how are you going to stop this? Like, what are you going to do about it? And I wish somebody had told me. So after that, my health continued to do the downward spiral, right? And my face exploded with cystic acne. And I did not have acne before. And if I lean in, you might be able to see some of the scars that are still here. I don't know. The Zoom filter is pretty magic because I don't have on any makeup right now, but you can see a little bit there. It just exploded like all over my face to the point where strangers were actually stopping and commenting on my face and asking me what's wrong, which is totally embarrassing, right? It was terrible. So the next time period that sticks out to me is like a friend at church. This is after my doctor and after the strangers, everything. And he pulled me to the side and he just told it to me straight. He was like, Vern, you look like shit. It's like, oh my God, it's terrible, but it was true. It was true. And he was just like, look, I will pay for you to go to a naturopath and try something unconventional because you've been doing this conventional medicine route, seeing all the specialists and nothing's getting better. He's like, you're getting worse. You're getting worse. Every week I see you and it's getting worse. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that's what really opened my mind to this whole like eating, living and doing things like in a totally new way. And I've spent these years healing myself, helping my family heal, helping clients heal, and really seeing what really works. Okay. So with that said, let me tell you, I've basically created this. I've taken everything that I've learned and I've turned it into this true prescription is what I'm calling it, because the only true prescription is what is unique and what fits for you and what works for you. Right. And so I've got this framework for you to make it what works perfectly for you. And I coach people through this holistic health, mind, body, and spirit, where we are healing ourselves. And so today, I pretty much live symptom free. I'm running my ministry still, love it, and my business, and I do this in less than 30 hours a week. I share that because that's important. It's part of living and leading differently. And if you remember, I was working a ton of hours. I would say before, I was probably working 70 to 80 hours a week. Like I was overworking seriously. And I don't know if you can relate to that. A lot of high achieving women do, but I thought I had to do everything in order to do my job and have the effect and meet the goals that I needed. And I just want to say, you don't have to do that, right? So now I don't have to do that. I figured out how to do it. And, my kids and I would go to the beach almost every week. We just got back from a weekend at the beach. My body feels so good and my mind is relaxed. And I'm still doing the ministry. I'm still facing challenges. I'm still facing hard things, right? But my spirit is at peace. And I'm not wasting any of my time being tired, being sick, being anxious, or in a brain fog. And that is a large part of our healing. I'm going to show you how you can actually make this happen too.